Welcome to our video serial, from job advertisement to a targeted CV and job application. Through 3 videos, we show you how you can transform a job advertisement into targeted application material. And it's easy to say that you should target your material, but through these videos we show you a concrete example on how you can do this. It's our hope that after having seen these videos, you will be better prepared and ready to complete the same process with a job advertisement that you have found. We are now in part 3, the third video on the targeted job application. In part 1, we looked at how you can read and decode a job advertisement, and we will transform this knowledge into a concrete and targeted application in this video. This also means that we will use examples from the job advertisement in video 1. And if you haven't seen video 1, it is our strong recommendation that you do this now before continuing with this video, because it will make it easier for you to understand the examples that we use when making this targeted job application. Before looking into the specific example of a job application, it's important to stress the fact that the job application looks forward. That's the task of the job application, you could say. It looks into the future, it looks into the job. It is kind of, you write yourself into the job. Where the CV was the past, the job application is the future. The job application explains how you will put your experience into play at the company and within the tasks that are described in the job advertisement. Here's an example of a job application targeting the job advertisement for an electronics engineer at McCartney, as we saw in the first video. It's based on a real application from an AAU student, and we will present a structure on how you can make your application. It's one way to do it. There are different ways to do it, but here's one. As you see, there's a headline: Engineer in Intelligent Reliable Systems with Passion for Water and Electrical Systems. It was the same headline that was in the CV. We use, when you look at the right, the important themes. You see, we identified in the job advertisement some different themes that we should address and target in the application material. As you see here, it says passionate about electronics engineering, designing, testing and implementing, development of electronics on a module and system level, as well as software for embedded electronics and user interfaces. Completing tasks accurately and correct, self-motivated and work in a fast-paced environment, team player and adaptable, responsible and independent. So with this headline you already see there's the word passion here, that the engineer, intelligent systems and so forth. So let's move on. The structure first part here is the you part. That's where the sender, the applicant, write the motivation for the company you're applying for. You say something about why are you relevant to me, not because it does a big huge difference for my career, but why do I think that you are a great company to work for. That's what you put here. The middle part is the we part. That's where we go into details on what can we make together in this job, working in this company with you, what should we do. And finally, at the end, you have the I part. Who am I as a colleague, as an employee, the more personal part. Let's go even more into details. So the motivation part on you in the first part of the application, among other things, Wilmar here, he says, hearing about the great work you do at McCartney and having worked on my bachelor thesis in your indoor testing pool, he has first-hand knowledge and experience with working with them, so he really can say something about his motivation here. I'm really impressed with your activity and accomplishment. These are some of the words that he uses. You could write many things here. You should never lie. You should find your real motivation for what is it that they do that you find really interesting. What is it that you are interested in? Why are you impressed by them and so forth. The next part of the application is the we part. That's where he approaches the themes that we have on the right. He goes in and describes why he's professional relevant to the job. He writes about the tools that he has experience with. He writes about his professional competences, and he focuses on how he will do it. Let's get more into details. When it comes to control design and automation products, my university program focuses on intelligent control systems for robotics and industries while including reliability engineering. Bam! Directly into the designing, testing, implementing, the development of electronics and so forth. The precise task, the most relevant task, you could say. It goes deep into different control methods, and he says something about my knowledge about electronics design, advanced control engineering, fault detection and reliability engineering, which I put into practice in my master thesis. He gives an example right away. I did this in my thesis. Then the reader can always go back to the CV and see, what was the thesis about? What does it say here more in details? Further down, focus on design, modeling and control of underwater vehicles have been part of both my bachelor and my master's. He also says that he's an experienced programmer, and in my research assistant job I used my communication and precision skills to make sure everything was processed. There he kind of put focus on the accuracy and the correctness. And if you also look further down, he says something about managed projects, experience with the maritime standards and building hardware software. He gives examples. Ensuring that technical requirements were fully met again, and I also worked on testing both in-house and offshore sea trials. And also he says something about his further programming experience comes from working for Survey Automation Center. So he makes sure that he mentions the relevant. If you also look at this application, you can see that he starts with specific things they are asking for in the job. He doesn't start with saying, I have experience with control design automation products. He says, when it comes to, he says, focus on design modeling, he starts with their needs and then he kind of answers it. It's a little tip. It works really well. You start with the need and then you answer how you have the experience, examples on how you have it. That's the targeting part again. The last part down here, the I part, the personality part, how he is as a colleague, and so he mentioned something about his international profile because it is an international company and he is an international profile. So one of the things he has written here is, I'm driven, independent and analytical in my work, as well as an adaptable team player. And with my international background, I will easily fit into your international culture. He writes several other things, but as you see, the team player, the adaptable, different things, he makes sure that he mentioned this. He also says a little bit about that, for example, he has experience from a pub where he had to have things run smoothly and was responsible. So just saying that you use examples. It's easy to just say that you are these and these things, but put the examples on so you show it. You can always, as a reader, go into the CV when it's targeted and see how those two things support each other. So this was the end of part 3 on the targeted job application, and it's the end of our video series. If you have seen all 3 videos by now, you will know that part 1 was kind of the fundamental part, because that's where we learned how to decode a job application. You have also experienced how part 2 and 3 interact, since the CV and the application work together as they refer to each other, as well as they are supplement to each other. And having looked through these videos, we also hope that you found them useful and that you can use the material and that you can succeed in making good targeted application material, as well as we hope that you will succeed in finding the opportunities that you are looking for. Thank you for watching.